you're feeling stuck in your freestyle and you just kind of want a new idea to freshen things up a little bit, you came to the right place. Today, we're gonna break down a simple concept that you can utilize while you're freestyling to cultivate more variation and to generate new ideas within your movement. Let's just hop into it. So the concept that we're gonna be breaking down today is really a combination of two simple ideas. We're gonna sort of think about establishing one movement concept as our base layer and then utilizing a second movement concept and adding that on as our second layer. So really this concept is just a combination of two different movement ideas. The first idea that we're gonna sort of utilize as our first layer is this concept of utilizing a basic bounce as we play around with the placement of our feet. Now, we're not gonna dive too much into this concept by itself. I have a whole video breaking this idea down that I'm gonna link right up here. The basic idea that we're playing around with here is first establishing a basic bounce, and then from here, playing around with changing our foot placement. Now, there's a lot of different ways that we can do this, and I go into a lot further detail about this concept in the video that I linked up here. And so if you wanna dive deeper into that idea, that video will also be linked in the description down below, as well as at the end of this video. So that's our first layer, thinking about employing this concept of a basic bounce as we play around with the manipulation of our foot placement. And now the second idea that we're gonna be utilizing today is this concept of waving. Everybody loves a good wave. Now, we're not specifically gonna dive too deep into the technique of how to wave in this video. If you guys would like further breakdown of some basic waving technique, be sure to comment that down below. But for this video, we're more so just gonna think about utilizing this concept of waving as we also play around with this concept of changing our foot placement while we maintain a basic bounce. Now the trick here, or the idea, is to form sort of a hybrid version of both of these concepts, not compromising either of them to do the other, but learning how to execute both of them within your body in a cohesive manner, yeah? In other words, for this video specifically, we're not necessarily trying to show that I'm doing two different concepts at the same time. We're more so taking two different ideas and utilizing them to form one concept. Sort of this hybrid fusion of bouncing and waving. Now, just to give you a little bit of direction if you don't have any experience with waving, a classic basic arm wave would be done just as follows. We'll start by lifting up our right hand, thinking about pointing our fingers to the sky. Then from here, we'll think about isolating and lifting our right wrist, trying hard not to move any other part of our arm, really isolating. After our wrist comes our elbow. We'll think about flattening out our wrist as we lift our elbow up. From here, we'll move into the shoulder. From here, we'll switch to the opposite shoulder, moving down into the left elbow, left wrist, left fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you make it all the way through one side, you can take it back the other way. Left fingertips, wrist, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, wrist, fingertips. Now, once you start to understand this basic motion of waving, you can start to play around with the shape that you hold your arms while you wave. You don't always have to hold them straight out to the side. You also don't always have to wave through your whole arm. And your wave also doesn't always have to start from your fingertips or travel all the way through. You could start a wave with both fingertips, or you could start a wave with both shoulders, or one shoulder. You could find a really small wave or a big wave. You could wave with one arm or with both arms. You could control your wave with one arm. You could find a wave by crossing your hands in front of each other, above or below your head, behind the back, in front, to the side. You could also think about waving other parts of the body that aren't your arms. You could wave the upper body. You could go side to side, front and back. You could wave all the way from your head down to your foot. There's so many different ways that you can play around with this concept of waving. My advice for this concept would be to not stress so deeply about the detail and the intricacy of the wave, but rather to think more about the uniformity between the two concepts that you're playing around with. Really try to dive into this idea of continual flow. One of the things that I think is coolest about waving is that it's about finding that flow state, that continual flow that is always there for you to dive back into. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like this concept is so helpful to have in your bag, because there's so many different ways that you can play around with it. So give this concept a try. Play around with it. Let it sort of work its way out in your body, and don't put pressure on yourself to look a certain way or to do it in a certain way. Simply think about honestly executing both concepts in your body, utilizing a basic bounce as you play around with changing your foot placement, and also playing around with this concept of waving. Now, like I said, if you guys would like me to dive deeper into this concept, be sure to leave it in the comments down below. This is a nice, quick, and easy one for you guys, but I really feel that if you are able to take some time and really dive into this concept, it'll definitely lead to more variation within your movement, and it'll really help you to generate some new, fresh, fun ideas while you're freestyling. Now, with all that being said, before we end, I'm gonna go ahead and hit a quick round just to show you guys some ways that I would play around with this idea myself. going to do it for our breakdown of this simple concept today. Nothing too crazy about this one, you guys. We really just combined two simple ideas to create a super useful concept for our freestyle. If you made it to this point in the video, one thing that I'd like to encourage you guys in is that you can literally do this with any dance concept that you might have. I think sometimes we think that the key to cultivating more variation within our movement is just learning another dance concept. It's just adding more ideas to our tool belt. And while that is true, it is good to expand your vocabulary and to expand your repertoire of the tools that you have to play around with while you're dancing. It is equally useful and equally important to be able to take inventory of the tools that you already have and to utilize those to find more variation. We can learn 1,000 different dance steps, freestyle concepts, all the tricks in the world, but if we don't know how to utilize any of them, it's not going to make any difference. And so I encourage you guys to take note of the things that you guys have in your repertoire, the concepts and the ideas that you are truly inspired by, and to think, how could I utilize these concepts that I already know in a new way to cultivate some more variation for my freestyle? More likely than not, you're sitting on a gold mine and you don't even know it. And so I encourage you guys to dive deep into your own style and your own movement repertoire and just see what sort of results you might yield from it. I think you'll be surprised with what you find. Now, like I said earlier, if you guys would like further breakdown of this idea, or if you have any other concepts that you would like me to break down, be sure to comment down below. You can also reach out to me at The Shed on Instagram or TikTok. And I also encourage you to go and check out The Shed's page on Patreon. That'll be the first link in the description down below. I want to thank you guys for your continued support of me, this channel, and for your time in watching this video. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace out.